It's Monday, the 23rd of November 2020. Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business Headlines, the business news you need in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Today's headlines. A review of retirement incomes in Australia is set to trigger a shake-up in the superannuation system. That's our main story. Plus, border wars between state premiers rage as some restrictions are relaxed. Retail trade surges in more good news for the economy, and one of the country's most famous building companies collapses. The federal government has released its review into the superannuation system and left open the option of capping the superannuation guarantee at its current level, sparking threats from unions and signalling that retirement incomes will play a major role in the run-up to the next election. The Retirement Income Review said lifting the superannuation guarantee from the current level of 9.5% would cause a loss in lifetime income and impact standards of living. The review was comprehensive. It ran for more than 650 pages. Some of the key elements included the following. Compulsory superannuation has been a good thing, helping the middle class save for retirement, and the current system is reasonably successful. Superannuation contributions, if left unchanged, will constitute a higher proportion of GDP than the aged pension by 2050. The review highlights that huge tax concessions are available to all, including the rich. Options such as retirees accessing equity they have in their own homes or having a better financial strategy when in retirement could also do much of the heavy lifting in the future to ensure people have enough money to live on once they're no longer in the workforce. As part of that, encouraging people to spend their savings rather than leaving money for their kids could be part of the answer. The report said that the take-up of annuities was a weak point in the system, saying they should be better used or potentially mandated. So what's all that mean? Very broadly, the review says the current system is okay, but we have to think harder about the tax breaks, post-retirement strategies, and whether the economy can afford to increase the super guarantee right now when it would dent economic growth. Get ready to hear plenty about retirement incomes. In overseas news, the G20 met virtually over the weekend. The group pushed for coordinated and fair distribution of any COVID-19 vaccine, including financial and logistical support, and endorsed the goals of the Paris Agreement, which limits fossil fuel pollution. The cases of COVID-19 in North America and Europe continue to surge. The 7-day rolling average number of cases in the US is now 171,000. President Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the election were dealt a blow over the weekend when a lawsuit seeking to block the certification of the result in Pennsylvania was dismissed by a federal court. Locally, October retail sales jumped 1.6% from September to October. That's $460 million worth of turnover. Sales last month were 7.3% above a year earlier. Excluding Victoria, sales are up 12%. Cafes, restaurants and takeaway food services led the rises, though it was pretty broad-based. There's definitely some momentum in the retail trade sector. Meanwhile, National Australia Bank has upgraded its economic forecasts and lowered its unemployment expectations. The bank expects the economy to expand by around 4% during the current quarter, driven by a rebound in consumption. South Australia reopened for business on Saturday night, 3 days early, after it emerged that one individual had fibbed about how he contracted the virus. Victorians will be able to go outside without face masks and office staff can head back to work, Premier Daniel Andrews announced yesterday. The border between Queensland and Sydney remains closed, notwithstanding New South Wales recorded its 15th straight day without community transmission. The border between New South Wales and Victoria reopened this morning. It was a strong weekend for auctions, with clearance rates in Sydney and Melbourne above 75%. The spring selling season, after a delayed start, is now likely to continue on for longer than anticipated. Media reports this morning say that the government will expand its instant asset write-off program to any company that earns less than $5 billion in revenue in Australia, even if total revenue is more than that amount. And one of the country's biggest building groups, Grocon, says it will go into administration. Chief Executive Daniel Grollo, grandson of founder Luigi, who started the business 73 years ago, blamed New South Wales' handling of the Barangaroo project for its failure. That's the Fear and Greed business headlines for today. There's more on all of these stories in today's full Fear and Greed podcast, as well as an interview with AMP Capital senior economist Diana Messina. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your day.